So Antonoaldo, cracking start to the year. I've just seen your Q1 numbers, 40-odd% growth, which is stellar. To what extent can you sustain that throughout the rest of 24?
I mean, our long-term aspiration is to double the size of the airline as compared to last year in 6 years. What we're trying to do is to front-load the growth. And for a very simple reason, right? If you front-load the growth, you can restructure the network and the hub quicker. And then it's easier for us to provide to our customers the schedule they need. So we're going to be growing about 30% per year this year and next year again. Next year there is big growth ahead of us. After that we slow down a little bit so that we do in 7 years about 10% per year.
Where are you going to get the planes from? You've spoken before about the fact that it's not easy. You don't just go on Amazon.
I mean, we're working hard to get planes. We have 6 321neos arriving this semester until June. These planes were not in our order book in October last year. So we're very opportunistic about situations that we face in the industry.
How did you get them?
So I got 6 planes from Bamboo Airlines. They were an opportunity, right? Planes that are flying for only 1 year, 2 years, brand new planes. And we were quick, and we have good credit rating, right? So everyone wants to rent planes to Etihad. So we got 6 planes. Next year we may add about 15 planes, and they're gonna come, you'll see.
So in terms of the route network, a lot of it is adding extra destinations in countries you already fly to, and adding frequency as well. What's the plan? Where's that growth going to come from?
I mean, there's a lot of growth to Southeast Asia and Europe, right? We also did a lot this year in the US. So US, we just announced the 380, right? Which is not more frequency, but it's more capacity. We just announced at Paris, right? For the 380, happy about that as well. And that's capacity, right? So between the US, Europe, and Southeast Asia, and GCC, I mean, it looks a lot, but these are the 4 markets we're putting a lot of energy right now.
So it's all looking very good. There's growth, there's more aircraft on the way, there's demand. Financial results were good. Last time we spoke, we mentioned the IPO. More stories in the newspapers this weekend, obviously. Any progress on that you could share with me?
I mean, these stories are going to come and go, right? It's normal. The airline is making a lot of progress. We don't have the IPO as an objective, right? Our mandate from the shareholder is very clear, is to deliver great customer experience and make money and be sustainable, be profitable. For us to one day to get a go-ahead from the shareholder, in the end they decide. We need 3 things, right? The first thing we need is, we need to make sure that the airline is expanding its margins. That is happening, right? We need to make sure that we have a growth story that we're delivering. We're starting that right now. And we need to improve in governance, right? You're going to see that we're going to be publishing our results on a quarterly basis right now, so that we increase transparency, for instance, right? So our obligation is to be ready. Whenever the shareholder believes it's the right time, we're going to be ready. It's not an end game. You're going to see that our balance sheet is really, really strong right now. So whenever is the good time, we're going to go, but that's a decision for the shareholder.
So in terms of some of the other issues that you're looking at the moment, 2 things have happened since we last spoke, less than 2 months ago. One, Dubai confirming it's going to move everything lock, stock and barrel up to Al Maktoum. Only a hop, skip and a jump from your home base at Zayed International, and we've had the rains and the floods. What are your takeaways from those 2 things?
I think it's great for the UAE, great for the region. I mean, if you think about it, right, 30 years ago, and you think about it today, and you think 20 years ahead, I think it's amazing for the region. I mean, the more infrastructure we have, the more people come to the region, the more efficient the airlines are, the better for everyone. I mean, when I came here at first, I had no idea about the efficiency that we can take out of the airlines in this region, right? And it's amazing, right? And I'm sure that Dubai is going to invest in the new airport, and it's going to be good for everyone. I think it just raises the bar. I mean, our airport is today a reality. We can go up to 45, 50 million passengers in Abu Dhabi. And I think over the next 5 to 7 years, it's going to be Abu Dhabi growing a lot. And then we'll have a new phase where the new airport in Dubai is going to grow a lot. And that's all, they work well together. So the more we do, the better for the UAE and for the region.
And lessons from the rain and the floods that we saw, not just from Etihad and Abu Dhabi Airport, but generally speaking, the climate change, these impacts. How does that impact your decisions as the chief executive of an airline?
We were lucky, first and foremost. The rain did not hit our biggest bank, so we actually did not cancel one flight. We did not cancel one flight during that period, right? And we only managed to do that because we have a new terminal, we have a new airport, and because the team prepared a lot. And you probably remember there was a rain about 4 weeks before the first rain, and that was a good learning exercise for us. So the team is ready. I mean, I come from a country where you have this kind of problem every now and then, right? I think what we saw here, I mean, it was challenging, but I think Abu Dhabi dealt with very, very well, right? And I think Dubai was less lucky, right? Because they had more rain. They had in a period of the day that was challenging for the airlines here. But I think they learned a lot through that process, and next time it's going to be better for everyone.
Well, you mentioned your country there, Brazil. I opened the Financial Times this morning, big story about Madela investing $13 billion into Brazil. And part of it, or a lot of it, is into biofuels. And I thought, well, that's right up Antonoaldo's street. He's Brazilian, and he's putting sustainable aviation fuel in some of his jets. So I'm going to ask you about that. Well, what do you make of this investment? You know a little bit about it.
Yeah, I know a little bit about it. First of all, I think Madela is an amazing company. I think the kind of investments they're making in Brazil is terrific. The UAE is really willing to do more business with Brazil. Brazilians are a big contingent of tourists to Dubai, right? They come here a lot. I mean, Emirates has daily flights to São Paulo and to Rio. I mean, I think it's extremely important that Madela is doing that. As you know, Brazil has a lot of expertise in renewable energy. I mean, 50% of the cars in Brazil, 50% of fuel, gasoline, right? Not gasoline, it's ethanol. 50% of the cars in Brazil, they run on ethanol for years, right? Since '82, I remember when I was a kid, right? My mom going to the gas station to put ethanol from sugarcane. So I think Madela is going to be very successful. I'm very fond of the project because it's in my hometown where I grew up. So I'm sure it's going to be amazing for Abu Dhabi. It's going to be amazing for the UAE and amazing for Brazil as well. And I wish them all the best. And however I can help, I'll help, because I believe these two countries are amazing countries.
Finally, Antonoaldo, we're here at Arabian Travel Market. If people are watching on TV, they can see. If they're listening on radio, they can't. We're sitting in the economy class seats that you've got on display here. Now, I tend to think that high-flying executives like you wouldn't have a clue what economy class looks like. But you tell me no, you do sit at the back of the bus sometimes when you're flying, not just with this airline, but with others.
I mean, with Etihad too, right? I think I've been over the past year a couple of times in economy, and when I arrived in Etihad, one thing that I really want to make sure is that we define our aspiration, right, in a way that we capture all the segments, right? And we define it that we want to be the airline everyone wants to fly. When I mean everyone, I really mean everyone. So I have to have a great value proposition for everyone in the plane. It's not only about the residents. It's not only about our suites, our first class, our business class, but it's also, and extremely important, about their economy class. So we will not stop investing in the economy class product. I mean, we want to have an experience that is at the same time competitive, because I need to compete, right? And pleasant for our customers. So I'm a big fan of economy. I believe the economy passengers, they deserve great experience. And I think Etihad is one airline that is very much focused on that.
And you're not too proud to buckle up in an economy class seat yourself if you need to?
I mean, I'm proud to fly Etihad no matter what I do, right? I mean, I love flying Etihad. I think we have crew that is amazing. I bet you your experience in some airlines in economy can be even better than business. If you have the right crew in the plane, I mean, and we do have, your experience is just different.
Antonoaldo, great talk to you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you very much for having me again in your show.
Dubai Eye 103.8.
Join the conversation.